I'm Dennis Farrell. It's time for another Fantasy Selfie brought to you by Fox Sports Detroit and the Fantasy Sports Network. Today I've got 5 fantasy baseball players that might be able to put your team over that hump and get you in the playoffs. We're heading down the stretch run in most fantasy baseball leagues, and you probably need a little push. I know my fantasy teams do. Number 1 on my list is B.J. Upton. I know when I say B.J. Upton, everybody goes, he's been atrocious for the last 2.5 years. There's no way I'm touching him. Well, he's owned in 47% of leagues, and right now he's on a bit of a hot streak. I know batting .217, but he has 15 hits in his last 12 games and 5 hits in his last 3 games. If you need an outfielder, he's a guy you might want to look at. He has great stolen base potential, and he's getting on base to prove that. David Peralta, owned in 9% of leagues out of Arizona. He's batting .325 with 16 RBIs and 18 runs. David, by the way, has gone hitless only 4 times last month. He has hits in every game this month and 13 hits in his last 9 games with 9 RBIs. I'm a little interested in this kid. I'm going out myself and picking him up. Next on my list is Kolten Wong. Now, I know I've been talking about Kolten Wong like crazy. I like him a lot better than Oscar Taveras, who was primed to be the St. Louis Cardinals' #1 prospect. But since coming off the disabled list 4 games ago, Kolten Wong has 5 hits, 3 home runs, 1 stolen base, and 5 RBIs over that 4-game span. So if you're looking for a second baseman, Kolten Wong is on fire right now. John Singleton, first baseman for the Houston Astros. The downside, he's batting about .200 on the season. The upside, over the last 3 games, he has 5 RBIs and he has a cool 6 hits. So he's on a little bit of a hot streak if you need a first baseman. And finally, a guy that I call the sleeper of the week is Lorenzo Cain. He's only owned in 43% of leagues. He's batting .324 with 27 runs and 12 stolen bases. Now you go, all right, those stats don't really blow me away. But over his last 6 games, he has 12 hits and 5 stolen bases. So if you're lacking in the stolen base category, Lorenzo Cain is your guy. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Dennis77Farrell. Head over to the Fantasy Chronicles, and remember, Hail Hydra.